Okay, let's get started on this cam job here now that we've finished the other things that really need to go in when you do these type jobs. But there's going to be some boring stuff, everyday boring stuff of taking the cover off and the push rod tubes and things like that. So I'm going to put the camera on time lapse and get through that, and then we'll go back in with the new cam and adjustable push rods and that type thing and go from there. Hang in there. We are at the bottom of the valley here. We've got everything out. Left the oil pump connected to the plate, so it should be pretty easy to put back in. That's the old cam. We've got good O-rings in there, here and here. And lifters are in. I did look down in there, and it appears, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are S&S lifter cuffs down in there. I don't know if you can see the label back there where that little white says S&S on it. Right back there. So I think we are going to be good with the lifter cuffs. Apparently somebody's been in here, but because this is a 2024 model, it did have adjustable push rods, Screaming Eagle adjustable push rods. But at any rate, that's what's going back in it. Cyclorama 574. All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's see if I can give you a different perspective here. So we're going to take the cam and let's see. I don't usually, yeah, there it is. It's hard to see. CR574, I don't know if you can see it or not, right in there, CR574. Okay, so we're just going to put that right back in the plate and go right back in. If we're lucky and we didn't disturb our oil pump, it should go right back in. It's already got the good bearing in it. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. There we go. Got a little bit more here. Might be the lifter in the way. Let's turn that up a little bit. Lifter might be just right in the way. We don't want to force it. So there's something that's just not just right. So let's come back out. Go back in. I think all the gear rotors are lined up. Yeah, something's not just right. Let's find out what. Got the O-ring. I don't see a lifter hanging down. All right, let's try it again. I guess it is one of the gear rotors. Let's see what the story is here. No, it looks like it's lined up. No, it's not. It's not lined up just right. Let's go in there again. Okay, so what we'll have to do in this case, we can't force that, and it is simply just barely misaligned. So what I got to do is pull the 4 pump screws out. That'll let me pull the plate out, and then I can align the gear rotors up. I'll show you. This is just stuff that happens, guys. There's nothing wrong. It's just stuff that happens. You can try your best to try not to make it happen.
Sorry, sir. I'm doing my best.
But sometimes it does happen. And this, again, this is nothing, there's nothing wrong. I usually try to gamble on this. It just saves a step. If you can make the oil pump gears line up, that is, without having to take it apart. I'm not really going to take it apart. It's just the outer pump gear rotors just slipped just a little bit one way or the other, and it won't go back on the crankshaft. All right. This is the type of stuff you have to pay attention to, gentlemen. All right, I'm gonna leave that cam in there, just like that. All right, now see this gear rotor right here? It wasn't just aligned just right. So let's put it back in there, like that. Now, that's pushed all the way in now.
That's what she said.
There, see how it's flush? All right, so this was just a little bit misaligned when I went to go back in with it. And those are the type of things that you have to pay attention to, or you can really find yourself in a mess. Now, see how flush that is now? All right.
All right.
Good deal. All right, that's gonna go back like that. And now we can go back in with our pump screws, but I'm going to go back in with some clean ones and some blue Loctite. So I'll just take all 4 of these pump screws, just clean them with some carb cleaner just to get the oil off of them. Wipe them down. All right, and then we'll put a little dab, because we all know that
a little dab will do you.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just get those started because I want to come back before I lock those down. I want to come back and put these in, and then we'll torque them all down to 115 inch-pounds. Got a little dab of blue right there. Just get that one started. A little dab of blue right there.
And so on, and so on.
All right, I'll go ahead and run these in, but I'm not going to torque them yet. I got to get my torque wrench out. let me go get the magic torque wrench and let's set this bad boy to 115. There it is. Let's lock it down. All right, there's one. Let's go down here. There's two. Three. Four. I think it was that one. 5. 6. All right, let's do them one more time. Go all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, the outer ones are done. Now let's run the oil pump screws in. All right, now let's come back and torque those. One. 2. 3. 4. Let's do them again, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's go back on with our gear set. Okay. So I know that the marker side of the top cam needs to go down. This one needs to go up, just like that. Okay? Okay. Now, let's put the tensioner back on. I want to clean the threads on those screws. We'll put a dab of blue.
A little dab will do you.
This is a Torx head screw. Not particularly fond of the Torx screws, although they have their place on the planet. I'm gonna run these down. All right, break out the torque wrench. These are the same, 115. Generally, a 1/4-20 fastener is about 115 torque. 110, 115, 120. I just go 115. That's worked for me for years. 1, 2. Let's try it again. 1, 2. Okay, that's that. Now, on these timing deals here, there is no marks on them. You just put them in there and let it be. If you don't believe me, look it up. If you think I'm trying to pull your leg, there's not a timing mark on it. I've done a bunch of these. First time I did one, I was like, what? Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. They're not even keyed on there. Don't ask me how it works. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just going to run these in by hand. Okay. Okay. Clean it. Make sure we get all the Earl, E-A-R-L, off the thread so that the Loctite will work. It'll still work, it just won't work quite as good. All right. I'm going to break out my torque wrench and torque those down, and then we'll be ready to put back the push rods. So stay with me. Okay, this bike had the Screaming Eagle adjustable push rods. It's not my favorite because they're a little bit of a pain in the ass to use. But with that said, there is an intake and an exhaust on these. Unlike the S&S Quickies, it doesn't really matter. But you'll see right there where it says INT, obviously that means intake, and that's the part number. So on this one, we are going to go ahead and start with the front because that's where we left off when we disassembled things. All right. Now let me double check for the heck of it. Now that the magnet lifter holders are gone. Yeah, definitely. It's got S&S lifter cuffs in there, the black ones. All right. Good deal. It probably has high performance lifters in it too. Now let me get my handy dandy push rod tube holder out. Lock it up there. Now we can work freely with our hands. So what I'm going to do, this is a real giant pain. It's not as easy as the S&S stuff. I'm just spoiled. So let me turn this down. It's going to take a little bit of time. But this thread count is more coarse than the S&S Quickie push rod thread count. This only requires 2.5 turns to get adjusted, where the S&S adjustable push rods require 4 full turns. And it's just simply a coarser thread. It's nothing else other than that. Both of these adjustable push rods, Screaming Eagle and the S&S, they do the same thing, and they're designed very similar. I just prefer the S&S because you don't have to sit here and turn
And turn and turn and turn and turn and turn and turn.
and turn. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold the bottom part here with a little 5/16 so that I can pull, so I can turn the top part down. You always want to make sure you get these things centered in the lifter. You don't want it to be up on the shoulder or nothing. All right, that's centered right there. Now, what I'm going to do is it's pretty much at 0 lash right now. What that means is the push rod is kind of bottomed out where you can't turn it by hand no more. All right, so they say 2.5 turns. Now I'm going to turn this around because there is a little dot that Harley puts on here right there. All right, so if I take that dot and I go around one complete turn. All right, that's one complete turn. Let's go one more. All right, that's 2, and it says a half. So each one of these is a flat. There's 6 flats on there. So if I turn it 3 flats, that'll be 2.5 turns, right? Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. All right, so theoretically, that should be 2.5 turns. So what I'm going to do So I'm going to hold off here on locking it down because I want it to bleed out. But I'm going to clean the threads here because I'm going to be doing the blue Loctite trick. I know that's controversial, but I don't want this thing to come apart on Corey. Not that it would, because whoever installed it didn't use blue Loctite, so that's fine, but I'm going to use blue Loctite. So what I'm waiting for now is for this push rod to turn freely. Right now it's not turning freely. So I'm going to leave it be until it frees up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what we got going on here, the push rods did bleed down, and now I can move them freely with my 2 index fingers. The push rod is spinning. So that means I can go ahead and lock these down. So I've already cleaned the threads, and I'm about to put a little dab of blue Loctite, just a little bit.
A little dab will do you.
On the threads, and then I'm going to go ahead and lock these down. All right, and then we'll move forward from here. I'm going to go ahead and bolt all the rest of this stuff back together. I'm going to do the front, finish up the front, then I'll do the rear, then I'll put the cover on it, put the header on it, and then we're going to move forward to the ThunderMax. So hang in for the ThunderMax tune. Okay, let's get into this whole ThunderMax thing. I'm going to go through it from start to finish. So this belongs to nothing. So let's X that out. Let's X that out. We don't want to save it. All right, so what I'm going to do is just simply turn the bike on, and let's link up and do a little snooping around in here. See what we can find. I did not install this ThunderMax, so I have to kind of look around to see where it is and what it's been doing, so we can know where to go, hopefully. So it's not registered. Let's register it. Yes. Okay, let's read what's in there. Again, what this does is pulls the information from the ThunderMax to the computer so you could look at it. It's not a direct live hookup. For all practical purposes, it's not a direct live hookup until the bike starts to running. But as far as transfer data back and forth, it's not live transfer right now. And so you have to read the map, manipulate the map, and write the map. That's the way you have to do it. So let's look at service data here. See where the bike was before we got a hold of it here. So it's got 98 hours. It's been started 494 times and 108 rev limiters. So this thing has been ridden fast and hard. Somebody thought that they were part of the king of the baggers. That's pretty heavy riding right there. Let's look at the head temperatures. Okay, head temperatures are fine. So the bike wasn't running hot, so we're good. These here are probably hot traffic or stopping, traffic jam, something. But it has gotten up to 384 one time, but the majority of the time is fine. So I'm not looking at this as a problem. So that's okay. But what we are going to do is we're going to clear it. We're going to start over because we don't care about the past anymore. Okay? Now everything that happens will be from this point forward. So what we need to do is we need to look for a map. If we can find something close. All right, we're going to start out here with a map that my brother and I worked on for his 117. And we're going to put it in this one and see what happens. He says his mileage is really good. And he's got a 117 in his Street Glide. So we will see how this map works on this 117. I don't see where there's going to be a problem. But let's monitor and fire it up and watch it. Here goes. All right, if you'll notice, as it's warming up, it's starting to want to play a little better. So we're probably going to do a couple of these warm-ups just to see if we can get things to settle down a little bit more before we take it out and ride it. But it seems to be wanting to play correctly with us now. And the difference is the cam size. The cam in my brother's 117 is a 468. This is a 574. So there's going to be some changes to the fuel needed here at idles. But let's let it settle. Let's do a couple more of these and see what happens. Okay, there's our 180-degree mark. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and auto map the bike as soon as the green light goes out. I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike back on. I'll kick on the fan. So if you hear something blowing, it's a fan that blows on the motor to cool them off. We're going to get it started cooling down, and I'm going to auto map what it just learned off this existing map. Okay, so let's go to map editing and auto map. Okay, so what that's going to do is put what it's learned as a new starting point. Okay, so everything in the red here is the map being developed from an existing map for this particular bike. The ThunderMax is doing that on its own. So we're going to go ahead and shut the bike off. I'm going to let it cool back down and do this again. We'll be right back. All right, this is number 2 run up. Let's see how it does. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. Not a lot of changes from the first run up. Let me turn this fan off. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Not a lot of changes from the first run up, but I would still like to do one more just to be sure. So I'm going to cut the fan back on, do an auto map, let it cool down, and we'll do a third one. So hang in there. All right, this is going to be our third and final run up. I'm going to go ahead and start it and see what happens here. All right, so that was the third run up. And as you can see here, very, very, very little changes, which is good. So we're going to go ahead and auto map this. I'm going to take it out and ride it, make sure the timing's good on it. Go through the throttle exercises that I do and see where we wind up. Okay, let me tell you something.
Let me show you something.
This 574 CR 574 cam from Sakurama, the 117 Gen 2, ain't no joke. This is no joke, people. This thing's a monster. For a stage 2 on a 117 engine, which is basically a cam, a tuner, and a header, it's going to be hard to beat this, guys. I would imagine this thing's approaching mid 140s. I don't have a dyno, so I can't test it. From everything that I'm being told by the folks, the kind folks at Sakurama, they're seeing dyno numbers of these things pushing 150 at times. So this has got to be north of 140 square. Got to be, because this thing pulls like a freight train. So if you're looking for a good cam for the Gen 2 117 motors, CR 574, that's your choice. All right, man. I'm Steve Carr, and I'll talk to you later.